Ooh, hello there, my fellow miners and crafters. Good times with Scar here, and welcome back to the wonderful worlds of Hermit and crafting. And we're up here on cloud 9 above the landscaping tree below, which this cloud is storming upon. So let's fly down. Oh no. Okay, we caught it. We caught it. It's really laggy today, but we caught our wings at the last second. And there is our gigantic storm cloud snowing upon our tree, which we built in our last episode. And this was such a crazy fun project. I have so much fun creating the volcanoes or these clouds because I just feel like they're different, and it's so fun to kind of push the boundless realms of Minecraft and see where we can take things. And this was sure an amazing project. I really enjoyed it, and I want to thank you so much for giving me the inspiration to create a storm biome, which led to this build. And thank you so very much for that. And if you like this cloud, definitely hit that like button, and let's get into today's episode. So you might be wondering, hey Scar, what are we going to be doing today? Well, it is finally time to start working on the biomes. That is right. I've been putting it off way too long, and it's time to start them. Now, the first one is going to be the Wild Wild West, and we're going to have a Grand Canyon. We're going to have an old Western wagon and maybe some custom trees and some things along those lines. Now, we still have 3 more, and I'm not going to let you know what those are yet until we get to them. So something to look forward to. So yeah, really excited about like making the Grand Canyon or something along those lines with that first biome. It's going to be really What in the world is Fishy Foods? I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be introing the video, but I now must see what in the world Fishy Foods is. Oh, Cub was working on this yesterday, but he only had the redstone, like he was working on the redstone, and this is amazing. Welcome to Fishy Foods, a division of Concorp, home of the finest fried fish in all of Hermitcraft. Right click on the note block below to open the doors to Fishy Foods. Oh my gosh. It sucked the fish away. Oh, that's incredible. And then inside, I assume that there's fish. There's fish. Awesome. Wow. Good source of protein there. I like it. I like it. Wow, that is incredible. And then what happens when you do this? Oh, it puts them back in. That is amazing. Hashtag Cub is a wizard. I want to see it in the comments. I want to see every comment. Hashtag Cub's a wizard. That is insane. Oh my gosh. All right. I gotta focus. That was too cool. Anyway, guys, let's get back to business here. So, biomes, we need to get the supplies. And of course, we need to restock Cherry because, oh boy, have we ever made some diamonds. I know what you're saying. Scar, you did it again. Look what you created on this island. It is truly season 5 all over again. And I agree. I totally agree. We've not only created Shulker Road in season 5, but now we've created Shulker Island in season 6. But next week, we're going into the interior here, and we're going to make the most epic storage room ever created. So believe me, it's going to be amazing. So Shulker Island here will only be a figment of our imaginations of the past. So what we're doing here is we're crafting up some supplies for Cherry because Cherry's items have been flying off the store shelves because it's quite a premium product. Unapologetically awesome. So we got all sorts of good stuff in here. I'm still crafting down a bunch of other stuff. One thing we need to do is make a string maker of some kind, like find a spawner, I guess, to make string, because dispensers are a pain. Not as much as the panes that I placed under the cloud, but they're still a pain. And we're back here in the shopping district at Cherry Computers to restock and, of course, clarify the prices just a little bit. Look at the size of that storm cloud out there. That's amazing. Anyway, so when I set up the shop, I had things kind of arranged in stacks. Okay, well, that chest is empty. I can't explain things. There we go. So if it's 2 diamonds for a stack would be whatever the stack of items were in here. So 32 or 5 or 64. But I think people have taken it way too literally as just being a stack of 64. So we need to change the prices. So it's like 2 diamonds for 32. I think that'll clarify things a lot easier around here. And look at all these profits. Oh, that's amazing. We're never selling any microphones. You'd think with a group of YouTubers, we'd be selling some of these, especially with the premium sound now, wouldn't we? All the products are back in stock, and the prices are hopefully clarified to avoid any future shoplifting here. And in our iFlip Phone X's stock bin here, we've got a new premium product, and that's a screen protector with a purchase of 2 stacks of 32, you now get yourself a premium screen protector. Or 1 stack. I don't know. You can have it if you want. It's free. I never really thought about it. It's just free. You can have it with the purchase of any stack or whatever. So I'm happy about that. And we do need to work on our Eye Surprise airs because they are expensive for only 16 because I don't have enough string to produce enough of those to keep up with demand at the moment. Also, I'm thinking about changing the name of the Thunder Cable to the dongle. That's right, the dongle. Let's deposit our week's earnings here. Look at that, 53 diamonds. That is absolutely fantastic. But what we need to do is start planning out our first biome. And of course, like I mentioned, that's the Wild West biome. And I went out and gathered a whole bunch of red sand. Well, that's actually for another biome. And we got a whole bunch of that. And I think somewhere, if the lag's gonna allow me to open this chest there, that's not it. That's definitely not it. There we go. So we've got some materials for our Grand Canyon. So let's start doing the prep work for that, and hopefully we can start laying down that sand very soon. Orange sand in hand, it's time to start on the desert biome with a canyon. So I think we're gonna do it on the right side of the tree. And by doing that, it'll give us a little bit more room with the actual canyon because I'd love it if that kind of emerged from one of the root structures of the tree. So maybe like right here. So if the canyon ran, this is a little bit confusing. So if the canyon kind of ran out from here, but that's going to send us right into our temporary storage area. I'd like it preferably maybe if it came off of this section. I think this is going to be the better spot. So let's give it a little bit of a shape. So the canyon's going to come straight out here, and maybe it can kind of go outwards here a little bit and then kind of skew inward like so. And maybe we can push our river back a little bit further to just give us a smidge bit more room. Now, one thing I'd like to do is have the canyon be on a little bit of a forced perspective scale so that we don't make a gigantic canyon. Then when you kind of look at it, you think of it just being super deep if we can nail the perspective of it. So that's something we need to keep in mind. And then we'll do kind of scar pines along the edges and our western wagon and things along those lines. So let's grab out our sand and we can start laying that down. So what I want this is to do is I want it to be like right up against the tree like this, unless we want to do a buffer zone between the tree and the biome, but I don't think so because I want each of these roots to be giving life to the biomes below. So I think that's going to be a good idea. So we can start taking this out, start laying down all of this orange sand. The living desert spreads out from the tree, and I think it's looking pretty cool. We've got the river emerging from the branches, and off to the left-hand side here, Yellowstone is taking its shape. And I think it's looking pretty nice. So, like I said, the roots are giving life to the biome, and this is not a river. Well, actually, wait, no, it is a river. There will be a little bit of a river down there, but the main kind of focal point of it, of course, is kind of a Grand Canyon, if you will, design. So over here, I've been at the mining mesa getting all sorts of extra supplies that we'll need for this. And I believe I still have just a bit more over here. Oh, perfect. Oh, wait. Wow, that was laggy. Yeah, that'll be perfect. And then I believe we have another box full of sand. Let's see, there's one. Is that it? Is that it? I think we have enough because we're going to need a little bit more of the orange sand to create the cobblestone version of it or the sandstone version of it. So we can create like arches and stuff along those lines. Now I have kind of considered doing this almost in 2 biomes, like a yin yang, if you will, like a real kind of tropically biome on one side and a desert on the other. And then I was thinking, well, you know, as much as that would look cool as a really neat contrast, I tried to fly, but it definitely didn't happen. I'm thinking about instead sticking with maybe what we're planning, you know, multiple biome designs, because I kind of want to do an ocean biome here. I don't know. I keep getting inspired by different things, but anyway, let's focus on what our task at hand here is getting this biome set. So I'm happy with the layout. So this is kind of an orange layout. And next we need to dig down and create a canyon and start over on Yellowstone. Look at the desert biome from above. That is looking really, really cool, especially once we've gotten all the details established in there. It almost makes me want to make it bigger, but we got to focus on our Grand Canyon. So this is what I'm thinking. I've got some red sandstone slabs. All right, now I have the proper name for this. I've been saying all sorts of random names for the, ooh. Has this always been that light compared to the sand, or is that part of the new texture pack that the Jasper of the Mojang is working on. I remember this to being a much, much darker orange. But okay, I'm okay with it. I'm all right with it, I think, maybe. But anyway, so what I'm thinking about is maybe we can start like putting some of these, well, wow, a little bit laggy today. But I'm thinking maybe if we put some of these guys in there like this, right? So I think that's gonna look good. And if we kind of dip down inside, we can start working on adding some of these things. So maybe on the first row here, work with me here. We put this down there. Maybe we, oh, are you kidding me? I didn't get it. It's kind of a pain to deal with this because if you're on that side, you gotta like walk across. So let me grab out, okay, just 8 pieces is gonna be perfectly enough for what we need. But you know my phobia when it comes to having connected textures. Maybe we'll see how it goes. So what I want is potentially like then orange below. Okay, well, now it is really laggy. Okay, so I'm gonna put that down there, okay? And then below that, so we need to go down one more level here. So we'll cut that out. And then we do something like this and maybe do that one block inward so we start getting that perspective. So the question is, do we have enough room to really space these out in an appropriate way? But this is the general color palette that I'd like the walls of our canyon to be. So this is gonna take a bit of trial and a little bit of error to get this to work. Welcome back, and our Grand Canyon is now complete and looking pretty darn awesome. I'm really pretty proud of this, especially considering the tight constraints of the area and things along those lines. I think it is looking really nice. So let's dive into the details down below. We've got the river flowing through, and of course we have the dirt built up on the sides. Now, things that I'd still like to do in there is add at least 1 or 2 pieces of dirt in the water level so it's flush with the water. I think that'll help a little bit with the depth of the design. Next thing I'd like to do is potentially maybe even incorporate a little bit of traditional dirt into it. That'll break up the coarse dirt so it's not so repetitive throughout. And yeah, I'm really happy with that. So what else do we want to do here? Definitely add arches, something similar to you'd find at Arches National Park. So I think that'll look nice, and maybe even do one stretching over the gorge. That would be fun. Variations in the sand, so bringing in once again a little bit of dirt there, and then bringing in the scarred pine trees. Once again, we're gonna have to get some birch leaves for that. But other than that, I'm really happy with this. This is coming out better than I thought. I was a little bit worried, but yeah, I'm pleased with this. Still contemplating about Yellowstone over here. I might do it. It's up to you guys. What should I do? Actually, I'm probably going to decide the video. But let me know what you guys think. I think it would look cool, so we might do it. Anyway, I'm still contemplating that. We still need to add the wagon. Oh, where's the wagon gonna go? Maybe like right here would look cool. Yeah. Anyway, I'm super excited. So let me make those small little modifications down below and start planning out Yellowstone. Sneaky Scar, hiding right under Impulse as he fixes up his tools. That's what a Sneaky Scar does. I'm up there stealing XP as Impulse AFKs, and Karma catches up with me and throws me from the gold farm, and I go splat down here. Oh my gosh, that has to be like the 4th time I have fallen off there and died. Second time actually today. That was sure unfortunate times with Scar at the gold farm, but welcome back. It is now time to work on our next phase here. So like I said, I'm still thinking about the Yellowstone biome. We're going to get there eventually. But what I have been working on is the berm that separates the different biomes from one another. And I think it's looking nice. First thing we've done, made ourselves a scar pine. First scar pine in season 6, made famous in season 4. We'll talk about that in a moment. I've also added half slabs on top of the sand, and I think that adds a little bit of variety to the terrain here, and I'm liking that design. Now, inside the canyon, I have mixed up all of the dirt. So there's a little bit of plain dirt, a little bit of coarse dirt, and there's some dirt in line with the waterway, and I think that gives some great depth inside of the canyon. So let me know what you think. You go back to the video, see what it looked like before, come back here, and I think there is actually a pretty big difference. One thing we still need to do is maybe even get out. Do I have some on me? No, I don't, but I'm actually going to take one of these. I will replace it. But what I'd like to do is maybe even add a few pieces like that throughout here, just to give a little bit of some contrast between this, so it's not all exactly the same level all the way around. And I'm trapped, so I'm gonna have to break everything. Come on. There we go. We're back up. So let's work on one of these trees ourselves. So when it comes to these scar pines, we always worked with these with birch leaves, right? We went up here, we took our birch leaves and we started kind of bringing these, actually that's oak scar. This is birch, and we bring the birch all the way around like this. So we create a bit of a ring, and we'll put that right there. So very much similar to say like a ponderosa pine. There we go, and we'll run that up like so. Now, when it comes to the Minecraft's new texture pack, there is a little bit of differences in the leaves. So this is birch, that's oak, and it's not a big difference as it once was. So I don't even know if it's worth it anymore to do this in birch. So I'm curious to see what you guys think. I don't know, there is a difference between these two, but I like the old birch texture just a little bit better than the current one that we're working with. So I hope maybe there's just a few modifications when it comes to the leaves for birch. I like the oak, I think that looks nice. And I do believe acacia now has a slightly different texture. I'm not 100% sure. I might need to check that, but I do know that it's slightly different, as originally there was a separate oak and a separate acacia because you couldn't stack them, but they were exactly the same in design. So it might be kind of cool that we do have a unique leaf for our acacia trees. There we go. So I think this is looking nice. I want this one just to be a little bit smaller, so I'm just gonna go like that, and I'm gonna call that good. And of course, when you create a scar pine tree like so, you just kind of get down here and just check around, just make sure it just doesn't need any extra love here and there. So just put a little block right there, maybe scoot back just a smidge, and I think that looks good. I think that's going to be a great separation between whatever biome goes here from our desert area, and I think that looks really nice. So things we still need to do here is a few more little details, but I think we're making some progress. So I'm going to take this design and I'm going to run it all the way down, add some more of this all the way around, and of course start working on that arch and just maybe that Yellowstone biome. From above, our desert biome is truly coming out. We've got some additional trees, and there's a really, really silly archway. Now, don't judge it, please. It's just a test. It's just to get some established perspective on it. But what I've done in the interior here, what in the world? There is one block astray there, and that is the gray block. That really bothers me. I need to fix that. But one thing I was looking at this canyon that kind of bothers me a little bit is that the white lines and the browns and the oranges and all these little lines are all symmetrically straight all the way across. If I were to do this again, I would have some variation. So they kind of drip down and they pop up in places. So that's how I would do this difference. So what I've done to combat that is to replace the half slabs along the sides here, and I think that adds just a little extra variety to the shape. But you might be wondering what in the world this is. This is the arch. So this is just a test to get our feels for it. And you know what? Like the first test of it is I kind of like it actually. So I just been kind of playing around with it a little bit, adding some bases and things like that. And I love this arch. There's a specific one. It has eluded me at the moment for its name. I've been trying to remember exactly, but I've painted it actually a couple times. And it's this archway, and then the inside the archway at a little bit of a distance away, there's these two little additional little pokey little rocks that look really, really cool. And people go and hike up there. Is it in Moab? I'm trying to figure out where this particular arch is. But anyway, it has some really crazy effects in the winter. So when the sun is rising, photographers camp out there at like 4 in the morning to get a perfect spot for it. And I've never been there, of course, but painted it, like I said. And I think my grandpa's been there a few times for when he was a photographer and things along those lines. But anyway, that's what I'm trying to create. And I think it's coming out. The question, I guess, is should I not be doing this in orange? Because should I be doing this in terracotta to give a little more contrast to the floor that we're creating? See, it's very orangey around here. Whereas if I did this in standard terracotta, it would give us just a little bit of a change in the design. But you know what? I'm really feeling orange. Like, I just feel like this is a pretty good design for it. And height-wise, I feel like it's good also. So you just kind of go along here and just slowly add little bits and bobs to it and see where it takes you. With this kind of design is you got to be 100% confident that you're going to nail it, because if you do that and you start seeing little failure pieces, it's just going to discourage you and make you not want to do it. So you got to have the confidence. You got to know in yourself that I can do this. Even when I fail 20 times, I know I can do it. So you can just keep doing it, keep finding that scale and that design that you want, and then you'll be able to nail it. That is the key with landscape. You got it inside your mind, know that you can do it, even when it looks terrible and you want to destroy it with fire. Because eventually you will get it. I guarantee you that. So yeah, we're going to work on this. One of the things we'll do eventually is start adding some half slabs. And, you know, this will give it, ooh, what in the world? That is an interesting texture. If I had control of the texture pack, I would wipe that out. I don't know what that is. I would replace it with whatever's on the top here on the bottom. Like, that looks horrendous. Anyway, so I'm going to continue to work on this, add some of those half slabs, get some detail in here, and I'll be right back. I love the whimsical nature of this build. You have a gigantic tree with snow and, of course, a giant cloud next to a desert biome. I don't know. I just love the little whimsical nature of it. So let's fly on down and swoop around, and you'll notice all sorts of little bits of detail throughout the build, and I'm loving every minute of it. So let's go through the arch like so and take a look at this. So down below, we've got bits of, you know, grass and weeds and things like that in the area. So I think that's looking nice. As for the ferns, I'm still not a huge fan of them. I think the shape is okay. The only thing that I dislike is the highlights. So this would be the shadow, and this is the highlight up in the corners there. And I think it's way too bright. Those highlights are just far too blown out. So I think they should tone those down a little bit, because at a distance, they just glow. And when you think of a fern, they do have that translucent nature to them a little bit when you shine light through them, but I think it's a little over the top. So hopefully they fix that for sure. And then down into the waterways, I've added a little bit of gravel. I'd like to mix in a bit of andesite just to mix things up, and also add potentially a little bit of tilled dirt down there. And I think that would create a neat little water effect, you know, just make it look like it's wet on the shores of the river. So I think that'd be very nice. And we've got ourselves a giant archway. I think it came out really, really nice. I'm very pleased with it. I dipped the terrain down just a little bit so you can kind of walk under it. And that leads you, of course, to Yellowstone. We're going to do it. We are. I was going to do another biome over here, but I think this is almost a sub biome of our custom one over here. So I think that'd be fantastic. And like I've said before, I want to see this Yellowstone biome added to Minecraft, or maybe a mod like Biomes of Plenty, or, you know, one of those ones. I think it would look so cool. But anyway, we got the trees all installed, we got everything going. So what we need to do to create our Yellowstone biome is we need a lot of bone blocks, which I am the #1 customer of Azuma's shop. So I got all of those, and of course a giant tower of andesite. No, that's not andesite, that's quartz, Scar. No, that's quartz. That is like a beautiful tower, right? That's like the Sears Tower or whatever they call it now. I like that, but I have to tear it down because I need all that delicious quartz. Chop the tower all the way down, and this is the amount of quartz we got. I thought I would get more, honestly. Let's build up a couple stacks here. I keep thinking I'm gonna hit that pillar, and that would be devastating. There we go. So 3 stacks plus 18. Little less than I thought, but it'll still work. Heading under the arch to start working on our mini Yellowstone. So we've got the geyser perch, if you will. I don't know if that's probably not the right word, but we've got that set up so you can see the general shape there. And then once we've completed that, we're going to make some little paint pots and things along those lines over there, like the colored pools and things along those lines. I think will look really cool. And one of the fun things about making this in season 4 is so many people, especially overseas, didn't know what Yellowstone was, and they looked it up and was like blown away, and it was like, oh, that's cool. We kind of like shared something that's like I love so much that people didn't know about, and they put it on their like bucket list, like I gotta go to Yellowstone. It's a really fun place. Like if you're unfamiliar, like search Yellowstone. It's a national park, if you don't know, in the United States. And it is fantastic. There's all this geological wonderland there. There's crazy cool animals. There's bison running around. There's bears, elk. And just outside of Yellowstone, there is the Tetons. And that's honestly my favorite part. The Teton Mountains are so beautiful. Just outside of Jackson Hole, Wyoming. It's a really cool town. So yeah, like if you ever get a chance to go to Yellowstone, it is so worth it. So we're kind of working on things that are inspired by that. And that would be Old Faithful. So this is kind of like Old Faithful. Actually, this one looks a little different. This one doesn't really look like Old Faithful. There's one in mind. Is it like Steamboat? I can't remember, but the design we're kind of going off looks a little bit more like that once you think about it. But I think this will be really nice. And then we'll start working on all the colorful pools behind us once we get this all arranged. And the bone block and the quartz is like calcium deposits that have been left from all the years and years and years of the geyser going off. So I think this will look really fantastic. So let me work on this and I'll be right back. I'm hiding behind this box because I'm feeling quite ashamed right now. I was searching every one of these boxes here, trying to find bone meal. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought I had some bones around here. And then I realized, oh, I have bone blocks. With that nightmare out of the way, we have both of our geysers set up and ready to go. So let's start with our glass here. So this, of course, is the water spouting out of here. And I might even throw in a torch down there to add a little extra light in there. That might be actually kind of cool. So what we'll do is we're just going to run up some glass like so. And then we need to pick a direction of the wind. Now we can always do that by looking for the direction of the clouds. We could turn clouds on. And we'll build this upwards, and then we'll start kind of moving it to the side, whatever direction the wind is flowing, so you get this gentle breeze of mist and water in the air, and it'll look quite beautiful. So we got to do 2 of these, unless we want to have one of them dormant. That could be an idea too, but let me start working on this. I think it'll look really, really cool once we're done. Little Yellowstone is now complete, along with our sulfur pool, which looks incredibly refreshing there, but that is very deceiving. That is boiling acid water. Highly would not recommend swimming in it. It always looks, those turquoise pools look so cool and like, oh, it'd be so much fun to swim through there. But no, it's the worst thing in the world. Never do it. I want to, like, if I was like a super millionaire, I'd create one of those like in a pool, like a pool in your backyard, and it would be amazing. It's the same thing with the sea lions exhibit, say in like an aquarium or a zoo. It's always like, oh my gosh, this looks so fun. And then you realize like that water is like 40 degrees. Anyway, that is my swimming rant. Everything's so unhospitable around here. Just want to get in the pool. But anyway, I think this is looking pretty cool. We've got the geysers looking fancy. One thing I'd like to work on is a bit of a backdrop for this. So if we look under the arch, you can see all the scarred pines, and then it creates a nice backdrop to really feel like you're really immersed in the area and things along those lines. And I'd like to have that for the backdrop over there. I've also placed a little bit of coarse dirt and some standard dirt along the edges right here. So anything near the sulfur and all that stuff has been killed off. So it would be nice to put the dead bushes there, but I don't know if you can place dead bushes on anything other than sand. That might be something we can test out, but I'm pretty sure you cannot. Let me know if you can or not in the comments. I'm not sure if I'm going to go all the way to the desert for that, but yeah, I'm happy with this. I love it. And a few little details here, and then we can wrap it up. And there it is. The Wild West biome that the tree has given life to is now complete. There are definitely some places we still need to add a few more trees here and there, but this is taken from 10 in the morning to 10 at night, and it is time to wrap it up so I can start working on getting the preparations for stream day set up, because this video goes out on Sunday and then the stream day is on Saturday, so I have to get some stuff set up for that. And oh my gosh, I love this. I hope you guys do too. I think it's really, really immersive, and that's what I was kind of going for, of course, was the Grand Canyon down below with the river there and the trees and all the little details surrounding it. And of course, the giant archway that stretches across. And I think that thing looks pretty fun. It just brings back a lot of good memories of course, season 4 with the big one we built then. And then we move right into mini Yellowstone with the geyser shooting up into the air. And of course, a beautiful little sulfur pot here looking super, super fancy. Now, as for the cliffs, I'm just kind of getting those shaped. I am going to put some trees up on there and maybe a little bit of detail work on the rock there and get that all settled. Now, on this side over here, I did plant down the trees. So I've got those ones all settled. And yeah, I think that is really, really good. So I was planning on doing more than one biome today, but it took a little longer than I thought. It's because I get so carried away with the details, right? The little tiniest things that I spend so much time on that maybe nobody notices, but I sure do. And if I didn't have those little details, I sure would miss them. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. So in the comments, please, please let me know what you want to see for the next biome. I'm having a hard time choosing which ones to do. There's so many great little bits of inspiration for so many different things. And the server is so laggy right now. I want to take flight. Wow, and it just keeps freezing. Oh, it's so bad. But anyway, let's fly up to the top here, look down one more time on the whole thing. And yeah, I think that looks really, really, really cool. So until next time, this has been Good Times with Scar, and I always really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my videos. And if you believe the video deserved a rating, that would be much appreciated. And until next time, we'll see you later. And don't forget to subscribe, because you may just become scarred for life.